Greetings to you, dear viewer. I'm glad to be with you again in this ongoing discourse regarding Lent and what it's all about. The last episode, we talked about the activities of Lent, which is prayer, and I define prayer as migration with God. I mean, our consciousness together with God's consciousness, whether they are through words or through thoughts or through actions. Then the second is fasting, and I did say fasting is a discipline that enables us to control our flesh in order for our spirit and the powers that surround our own spirits to exercise their authority. And then I did say that fasting actually consequences in the next activity of Lent, which is almsgiving. Whatever I fast from, I shouldn't consume, actually. Whatever I fast from are resources that have been made available for charity. It's not meant for me anymore. If I had rejected it, I decided to deny myself of food. It should be given to someone else. So that was the conclusion of the last. Now, these whole activities of Lent would introduce us to one aspect I want us to discuss about, what Lent enables us to become. Lent enables us to become creators. The activities of prayer, first of all, opens us to being with God. At that point in time, what happens around God happens around us when we are together with Him. So His creative powers come to play in us. That's one. And then two, the action of fasting already presupposes making available resources. And anyone who makes available resources is given from the self. And so you could see that what's supposed to be for myself is being shed off me. And this is what creation is about. Creation is not about taking from one and giving to other. Creation is the ability to generate what is not, to become what would be. And so if I can bring something from myself outside, I am involved in creativity. One of the values of human life is creativity, controlling the factors of production and involving in those things that bring about development. In prayer, we combine with God to become workers in the world. In fasting, we deny ourselves to make scarce resources available for those who do not have the opportunity for it. And eventually, that's consequences in almsgiving. Almsgiving is a work that reduces us in order to elevate others. And that was exactly what Jesus Christ did. He reduced himself to the extent of even taking off his life in order to give us life. The duties of Lent enables us to become co-creators with the one who created us. And it's beautiful seeing people creating everywhere. Musicians are creating everywhere. Look at the beautiful melodies that are being created everywhere. They are created from the intelligence that God has created himself in us. And even if the lyrics sometimes run contrary to the glory of God, every single one of those resources for creativity belong to God himself. All those who are involved in scientific creativities, technologies everywhere, the microphones, even this camera that's looking at me right now, they were created by human beings, and these gifts were given them by God. But how beautiful would it be if we create in the lineage of God's glory alongside? Because just now, whoever is creating without being in God is using God's power for the elevation of the self. Elevation of the self is not bad in itself, but Lent teaches us that humility of putting everything under the authority of God himself, that my gifts will be seen as a gift to me, and then I will be a sufficient gift to the world. The Lenten season helps us to realize this, in order that we ourselves do not run out of control. For the devil is always by our side to tell us again and again and again that we can do it outside of God. And that was what he did to Eve. It wasn't the case that the fruit that they ate was poisonous. No, the fruit was not poisonous. But he just simply said, did God really say you shouldn't eat this fruit? I wanted to tell Eve that Eve was capable of knowledge outside of God. And of course, she wanted to test that knowledge outside of God and discovered the knowledge that she had eventually can be seen as the same kind of knowledge that a 5-year-old who was abused by a man has. What kind of knowledge is that? The knowledge of carnality that destroys the integrity of the human person. And so our entire being, our talents, and all that we have, our creative abilities, function to our glory the more when they function under the authority of God. And this is what the Lenten season helps us to realize and to adopt as a practice.